Shalom. Why proactive conversion? You know, a lot of Jews think that we're not allowed to proselytize, to advocate for people to become Jewish, although there's been a very interesting shift in this in the last decade, where every Jewish denomination encourages the non-Jewish partner of a Jew to convert. But I would go further than that and say to anyone who's not happy with their current religion, take a hard look at Judaism. We're the basis of Western civilization and have so much to offer the world. Now, a lot of Jews are thinking, who is this, and why were you allowed to say this, and this is not Judaism? Well, I beg to differ. I want to read you a passage from Rabbi Harold Schorweiss, one of the giants of conservative rabbinate in the last century, and he wrote in an essay, "We had occasion during the lectures to point out what many seekers had forgotten or had never known. Who are we Jews, and where did we come from? Have we forgotten that the first Jew by choice was the founder of Judaism? That Abraham was mandated by God to get out of the country from your father's house to a land I will show you, and I will bless you and make of you a great nation? Have we forgotten that we recite in the Passover Haggadah, our reminder in the beginning our fathers were idolaters, and that on Passover we celebrate not the birth but the becoming of a Jewish people? Have we forgotten that every single day of the year, 3 times a day, we pray the 13th benediction of the Amidah, which singles out righteous proselytes as a blessing for us and for God? Have we forgotten that on the holiday of Shavuot, in which we celebrate the giving of the Torah, the book the rabbis chose to read was the book of Ruth, who was the first convert in the Judaism according to the Talmud? It's important to remember that rabbis in the Talmud proclaimed the daughter of Pharaoh, the father-in-law of Moses, and Zipporah, the wife of Moses, and Shiphrah and Puah, the Egyptian midwives, all as converts. He goes on to challenge the idea that people say Judaism doesn't believe in conversion. He says that 2,000 years ago, 10% of Rome were Jewish because of Jewish conversion. That Judaism was forbidden not by Jews but by the Hadrianic laws against Judaism. So it wasn't the Jews who prohibited conversion, it was the Roman Empire and then the Catholics. Maimonides considers it one of the 613 mitzvot. I want to read you a nice passage from a man named Nigel Savage in a collection by Rabbi Sidney Schwartz called Jewish Megatrends. Savage writes, "If you are happy in the religion that you grew up with, we hope you will grow and flourish in it and be a good Christian, a good Muslim, a good citizen. But if you find that it doesn't speak to you, if you've always had Jewish friends, you've always been interested in Jewish tradition, excuse me, or if you would simply like to learn more about what it means to be Jewish, then we warmly invite you to come learn with us. And here's a website in which you can find rabbis where you can learn all about Judaism, and we are willing to welcome you and learn with you and help you in your steps to become Jewish if that's what you want." So I'll list the website below. We have an online long-distance conversion program because we know some people live in remote communities and aren't near a class or schedules don't permit them to attend a regular class. But we warmly welcome you. So if you're not happy in your current religion, check out Judaism. It's 4,000 years old. It's the basis of all of Western civilization. It's God's revelation. And so many of the fundamental ideas that we cherish as a culture. Shalom.